Hi guys, in our last video we talked about a frustrating Windows 11 upgrade problem. The installer kept showing the message, setup has encountered a critical error and sorry, we are having trouble determining if your PC can run Windows 11. Please close setup and try again, along with error code 0x80070003-0x40008. We asked you for solutions and we finally found a fix. In this video, I will show you exactly what worked. After dealing with the previous Windows 11 setup error, I decided to try installing the latest 2026 preview update through Windows Update. The download and installation process appeared to work normally. The system restarted and the update progress continued until it reached the message. You are 98% there. Please keep your computer on. However, instead of completing successfully, the installation suddenly failed and displayed the following message. Something didn't go as planned. No need to worry. Undoing changes. Please keep your computer on. Windows then spent several minutes rolling back the update and undoing all the changes that had been made. After the rollback process was finished, the computer booted back into Windows normally. I opened Windows Update to check what had happened. And there I found the update had failing with the following error. Install error 0x800F0922. Before troubleshooting the update error, let's first confirm that this computer is fully compatible with Windows 11. As you can see on the screen, Windows clearly states this PC meets Windows 11 requirements. The system specifications are well above Microsoft's minimum requirements. So, based on these specifications, there should be no compatibility issues preventing Windows 11 from being installed or updated on this machine. The hardware comfortably meets and exceeds all the essentials Windows 11 requirements. That's why the update failure and installations error we are experiencing and particularly unusual. Since Windows Update was failing, I decided to try a different approach. Instead of updating through Windows Update, I downloaded the latest Windows 11 ISO file and attempt to perform an in-place upgrade manually. As you can see, I mounted the Windows 11 ISO file directly from the File Explorer. After that, I opened the mounted drive and clicked on the setup.exe file to start the Windows 11 installation process. At this point, everything seemed normal. But here's where things got interesting. Watch carefully. The moment I launched the setup program, Windows immediately displayed an error message on the screen. The installation didn't even get a chance to begin. The error reads, "Setup has encountered a critical error." And right below that, Windows shows another message. "Sorry, we are having trouble determining if your PC can run Windows 11. Please close setup and try again." The setup Windows also provides the following error code. 0x80070003-0x40008. So at this point, we have two separate problems. First, Windows Update fails with error 0x800F0922 after reaching 98% completion. And second, Even when trying to update manually using the official Windows 11 ISO, the setup process immediately fails with error 0x80070003-0x40008. And it suggests that the problem is likely related to Windows Update, system files, or software configurations rather than the hardware itself. Don't worry, in this video I will show you the exact root cause of this error and explain what might be causing it and walk through the troubleshooting steps we are going to try to get this update installed successfully. After investigating this issue, we found that it may occur due to three main reasons. Reason number 1. Problem with the Windows recovery or system reserved partition. Windows relies on the recovery and system reserved partitions during major updates and feature upgrades. If these partitions become corrupted, damaged, or improperly configured, the installation process may fail near completion and roll back all changes. Reason number 2. Insufficient EFI partition size. Another common cause is a small EFI system partition. Modern Windows updates sometimes require additional space in the EFI partition to update boot files and system components. If the partition does not have enough free space, the update may fail and generate errors such as 0x800F0922. And reason number 3. Incorrect EFI partition ID. In some cases, the EFI partition may have an incorrect partition ID assigned for unknown reasons. When this happens, Windows setups may not be able to properly identify or access the EFI system partition during the upgrade process. As a result, the installation can fail with errors such as 0x80070003-0x40008 or 0x800F0922. So, these are three most likely causes behind the update and installation failures we are experiencing. In the next steps, we are going to verify each of these possibilities and apply the appropriate fix to get Windows 11 updating normally again. Now, before we continue, I would like to mention that I have already created a detailed tutorial covering three of the most common causes of Windows update failures. Problems with the Windows recovery partition, problems with the system reserved partition, and insufficient EFI system partition size. In that tutorial, I explain how to identify these issues, check whether they are affecting your system, and applying the necessary fixes step by step. Since those topics have already been covered in detail, I won't be repeating the same instructions in this video. If your system is suffering from any of these problems, I highly recommend watching that tutorial first and following the solutions provided there. However, for this video, we are going to focus on another possible cause that is often overlooked: the EFI partition having an incorrect partition ID assigned for unknown reasons. We will verify whether that's the issue on this computer and then show you exactly how to fix it. After confirming that there are no issues with the Windows recovery partition, system reserved partition, or EFI system partition size, the next step is to check whether Windows can properly access the boot configuration data. Here's a very simple way to verify that. First, open command prompt as administrator and type bcdedit and then press enter. In a healthy system, this command should display the Windows Boot Manager and bootloader's entries. However, in our case, this is what appears on the screen. The boot configuration data stored could not be opened. The requested system device cannot be found. This error is a major clue. What it basically means is that Windows is unable to locate or access the boot configuration data, also as the BCD store. Since the BCD is stored on the EFI system partition, This strongly suggests that there is a problem with the EFI partition itself. In many cases, this happens when the EFI partition has an incorrect partition ID assigned for some unknown reason. As a result, Windows can no longer properly recognize the partition as a valid EFI system partition, causing boot configuration commands to fail and preventing Windows updates or in-place upgrades from completing successfully. So, if you are seeing the message, the boot configuration data store could not be opened, the requested system device cannot be found. Even though your recovery partition, system reserved partition, and EFI partition size are all fine, there's a good chance that the EFI partition ID is incorrect and needs to be repaired. So here, I will show you exactly how to verify the EFI partition ID and restore it to the correct value. Now that we have identified the likely cause, let's verify whether the EFI system partition has the correct partition ID assigned. Don't worry, this process is straightforward, but make sure you follow each step carefully. First, open command prompt as an administrator. Now type diskpart and press enter. Once diskpart opens, type list disk and press enter. This will display all the disks connected to your computer. Next, select the disk where Windows is installed. In most cases, this will be disk 0. However, if you have multiple disks, then you have to identify carefully. Select disk 0 and press enter. Now type list vol and press enter. Now look through the list and locate the EFI system partition. It is usually a small partition, often between 100 MB and 300 and 500 MB in size, and is typically labeled as a system partition. Once you have identified the EFI partition, select it. For example, if it is volume 3, select vol 3 and press enter. Now run detail partition. This command will display detailed information about the selected partition. Carefully check the partition type. On a GPT disk, the EFI system partition should have the following GUID. If the partition shows a different type or an unexpected ID, that may be the reason Windows cannot be locate the boot configuration data correctly. To fix it, make sure the correct EFI partition is selected and then run set ID equals type this ID as it is space override and then press enter. After the command completes successfully, now type GPT space attributes equals type this value and then press enter. Wait for diskpart to confirm that the operation completed successfully. So what does this command do? The attributes, this value marks the partition as a special system partition and ensures that Windows does not automatically assign a drive letter to it. Now exit diskpart by typing exit and then press enter. After that, type bcdedit and then press enter. If everything is working correctly, the boot configuration data should now open normally, and you should see the Windows Boot Manager and Windows Bootloader entries instead of the error. The boot configuration data store could not be opened. The requested system device cannot be found. At this point, try running Windows Update again or launch the Windows 11 ISO setup. In many cases, correcting the EFI partition ID resolves updates failures such as 0x80070003 and setup errors like 0x80070003-0x40008. Now you can try running Windows Update again or launch the Windows 11 ISO setup and check whether the installation proceeds normally. As you can see on the screen, I clicked check for updates and Windows began downloading and installing the update. To verify that everything is working correctly, open Windows Update and check the update history. So I hope this video was useful. If you have any questions or any advanced guide, then please let us know. Please like, comment, share. We need your support. And guys, please don't forget to subscribe our channel. Thank you. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day.